Welcome to the 57th episode of the Meeple Society. Take two. We are a podcast about board games hosted by two longtime role players turned avid board gamers. My name is Katie.
I'm Greg.
On this episode, we catch you up on our extra life endeavors and what to expect out of this year's 24-hour marathon. We continue with the recaps of our collection videos, episodes 18 through 20, discuss the ins, the outs, and the biggest surprises of each, plus even a few little disappointments. And for our game of the week, we join an experiment started in 1958 in Russia to domesticate foxes. So, let's jump into Extra Life. Well,
Yes.
First of all, take two. Explain take two.
Oh, take two. The podcast is coming out a week late. Last week we recorded everything.
Oh, we recorded
It
the
sounded
whole
great,
thing.
Except for you.
Well,
couldn't
okay,
hear
no, wait a
you.
minute. Let's back up.
I sounded
You
great.
sounded great.
You sound
I
like
sounded
you were
like
two
I
halls
was
down.
recording from the kitchen.
Yes. So this week we have producer Justin in the studio and made sure we had it all good.
Hello.
Yes. So, and he's actually here to talk about Extra Life with
Yeah.
us, to go over a bunch of stuff. We're going to talk about all the ins and outs of what we've been doing.
I mean, technically, he's here to make sure we don't screw up another recording. But
I mean, yeah, that's why
talking
I'm
about
here.
Extra Life is a bonus.
But since Extra Life's on top and he helps out with, well, he does all the recording for us.
Yeah, pretty
at the
much,
beginning.
yeah.
So, but yes, we have actually moved it from Memorial Day weekend.
Yes.
I keep wanting to say Labor Day weekend.
No.
And we've moved it to a Friday and Saturday this year,
Yeah.
June 7th and 8th.
Yeah.
We're going to start at 8 p.m. and end at 8 p.m.
Yeah. Well, and Memorial Day weekend worked out great in terms of having that extra day, and it was a holiday weekend, but that was kind of a double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm.
For those that don't know, we live in Indianapolis, and Indianapolis,
The month
Memorial
of May
Day weekend is a pretty big weekend in this city. I am not a race follower. However, the other two are.
Yes.
So
I was about to say, it was a little bit selfish. I kind of want to go to the race this year, so.
Right? We need to get back. We haven't been in a couple years.
yes.
Since 2020.
Yeah,
Yeah.
19.
19.
We didn't go in the pandemic.
That's right.
No, we
I meant
went
we
a
didn't go
year-
2020.
Did we go in 2021 after?
I
No, I don't think we did. I think
I don't
2019.
think
we've been
so.
back since before.
Right there
I
at the
think
start-finish line.
We were all a little hesitant about the whole.
Yeah.
It was too many people.
Yeah. Well,
Jackie
2020
wouldn't let me
they
go
did
anywhere,
not
so.
They-
go anyway.
Right. 2020,
Only
they didn't
military
open
was
it.
allowed in,
Yeah,
and
they
only
didn't
a
open it
certain
to
amount.
spectators. 2021, they did, but it was very limited. And I
Yeah.
think we were all still very, because of our jobs, we were all still very iffy about
Yeah.
you guys going
It
around
was
that many
2019
people.
Yep.
So,
So, like
Anyway.
I said, we're moving to June 7th and the 8th.
Yes.
So, let's talk about technical nightmares.
okay.
Okay, so this year we're going to go. Last year we had two tables
Yes.
that were live, and we just kind of swapped back and forth. This year we're just going to go with one table, and that way other people can just play games in the other areas.
Yeah, we're going to have a couple tables still set up in the dining room. We're just not going to be focusing on those tables.
Right.
You will still see them.
Yeah,
You just
'cause
won't
we're gonna
see
have
an
random
entire
cameras.
gameplay of them.
Yep.
All of the gameplays that will be recorded from start to finish will be here in the game room. I think it'll just make it easier.
On the technical side, how easy is it going to be? Is it going to be any easier?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're having to flip back and forth between tables.
I don't have to bring a soundboard, probably. I don't have to have cables running all throughout your house.
Yeah, that was.
I don't have to figure out the camera feeds to make sure that they're right.
Yeah.
There's less cameras to kick.
Yes.
It's going to be a lot easier just from the aspect of less cabling, less management of sound and everything, and then just having everything in one centralized location. You don't have to like quietly walk through the other room to get back to this room
True.
while somebody's recording. So it is going to be a lot easier, and hopefully that makes everything a lot smoother and less technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We won't have the house separated by soundproofing everywhere.
Well, we probably still will because we're going to need proofing on this door
Yeah.
for
Yes.
sure. So
Well,
there
yeah.
will still be the
Actually,
soundproofing.
I like the double barrier because it's
Yeah.
one extra layer of soundproofing.
Yeah. But the barrier between the kitchen and the dining room.
Yeah, you
dining
won't have
room
to have
being
that
where
one.
the
We won't
table,
need
the other
that,
table was
yeah.
at last year.
Yeah.
And I
You
like
won't
the
need that.
starting at 8 p.m. because that allows you to still work your full day. You don't have to take time off.
Right.
For the people coming to the event. You start later. It's not like starting at noon, and then by the time you hit midnight, you're like, oh, I've been here forever. I got 12 more hours to go. I started at 8. oh, it's midnight. We just got going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then by 6 a.m., you're like, okay, I'm kind of getting a little tired,
Yeah.
but it's only been 10 hours. So.
That's my fear, is that by the middle of the night, everybody's going to be tired, especially if they've worked that day.
Yeah, maybe.
So,
Maybe.
we might have to arrange some areas with cots.
Well,
or something.
we might not
we'll
also
see.
have 25 people here for the entire event this time.
That's
so
true. Last year we were only supposed to have 4 or 5 of us here for the entire event,
Yeah.
and it ended up being like close
everyone.
to almost everyone.
Almost everyone.
Almost.
There's maybe like
Stayed
4
They
people that
were
weren't
just
here.
having so much fun doing
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and I think everybody I've talked to so far wants to still join in. And now, how many people will stay the entire thing, I don't know yet, but it'll be interesting. It was a lot of
'cause
fun.
last year we were worried through the overnight hours is will it just be me and you sitting at the table
I
playing
know.
games and maybe Justin falling in or Jacob? But no, we had so many people here. I think that's
We
what
had easily-
kept us going because
Yeah.
everybody was here and everybody was keeping everybody away.
There was a
so.
certain energy about the entire day. It was just fabulous. That was so much fun. And we tried to recreate it in August, and it wasn't the same because it was only 12 hours. I'm looking forward to the full 24 again.
Yeah,
even if
last
we
year
are
we
shifting
said
it.
if you had kids, don't bring your kids because we didn't need with 2 tables running. It was like
It was going to be hard to keep that child
Right.
noise out.
this year with just the one table, and we have the other rooms, and we're going to have tables set up in there where
Yeah.
they can sit down and play games with their kids when they're not out in here recording.
Yeah.
So it should
So
be interesting.
something we can talk about still, but it'll be interesting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So if you don't know what Extra Life is all about the Children's Miracle Network.
Correct.
And here in Indianapolis, we're doing it for Riley Hospital, which I was actually what is known today as a Riley baby.
Yeah.
I spent most of the first month of my life, I believe, in the hospital, basically fighting for my life because of a staph infection that ate my right cheek away. So my right cheek, if you ever see me, is just scar tissue.
Wouldn't know it.
Yep.
But
yeah,
yeah.
the
That
doctor's there. The
It's the
doctor's there.
beard.
Now, I'm only going off of what I was told as I grew up. But apparently the doctors there Dr. Thomas gave me medication that was 2 or 3 times stronger for an adult, and it stopped the staph infection. They said I was like a hair away from being blind in both eyes.
They were also giving it to horses because it was back in the 1800s. So, just kidding.
No, but Riley
Early
Hospital was
1900s.
probably a third, maybe a quarter of the size it is.
Yeah,
today.
Riley is much bigger now.
Yeah,
Yes.
Riley's huge now.
Riley's
So
huge.
No, it's a great organization too because
Yeah.
our Jackie and I's best man and one of our bridesmaids, their child was also a Riley baby
That's
as
right.
well because she was born 3.5 months early.
wow, I didn't know it
And
was that
spent
early.
all their time in Riley, and they lived an hour south of here. So
Mhm.
Oh,
they
yeah, they were
spent
in
a lot of
Bloomington at the
time.
time, weren't they?
Yeah, they spent a lot of time at Riley. She's perfectly fine. She was at our wedding. The baby was not born yet, but she was
I was
there.
gonna say, wait, I don't remember a baby there, but yeah,
she was there.
that's right. She was pregnant with her, wasn't she?
So yeah, Riley's a organization that means a lot for, I think, our entire family. So
Yep.
yeah.
What Extra Life does, 100% of the donations you give during the event goes to the Children's Miracle Network. And like I
Yes.
said, here it's going through Riley Hospital.
Yes,
And
as-
it's to help fun things like have the money to do
Yeah.
research and all
Well-
that. It goes straight to the hospital to help the kids get better.
Right. Yeah. And every
That's producer Justin back there with extra sound.
oh my god! Stop it! I'm trying to pull up a graphic.
so every fundraising group, and we're a separate fundraising team under the Meeple Society, can choose where we want our whatever money we raise go to.
Yeah.
And like I said, since we are here in Indy, Riley Hospital was the logical choice. That
Yeah,
is why
because
we go there.
when you go to the site, you choose which one of us you want to donate the money
Yes.
to.
Oh,
like,
and we will be having a contest again this year.
And like last year, we had Jeff Knapp, who was from Virginia, and I believe he actually had it to a children's hospital in Virginia.
True.
'Cause he's
Yeah,
from
that's true.
Virginia.
So it's not even by the team;
So
it's by the
you
member.
pick which
Yes.
one you want it to go to.
Okay.
If they donate money to you, it goes to the hospital you chose.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought
'cause
it was the whole team thing. Okay.
Each person signs up as a team member, and then they choose which hospital they go to. So all their donations go to that hospital.
Oh, that's neat.
Now we
Okay.
are all
Riley,
signed up for
yeah.
Riley.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they provide 32 million patient visits for 10 million kids every year.
Wow.
10 million kids, 32 million visits. So that's what Extra Life helps with. They treat 62 children every minute, provide $6,500 every minute in charitable care to patients to help change kids' health.
Wow.
And I think since 1983, the Children's Miracle Network, hospitals, partners, and programs have raised more than $8 billion with a B dollars
Wow.
for the member
Wow.
hospitals.
Wow. And this all started with a little girl that came up with the idea to do this.
Yeah.
And originally it was a video
It was a video game
streaming
thing, yeah.
and then the board game community got into it too because they liked it.
Yep.
But-
And if you're interested in looking at what we did last year, it's all out there on our live feed. Go to our channel on YouTube and go to the live tab, and all of the stuff we've done live is there. And it's only the 5 events,
And last
2
year-
events, 5 videos.
Last year we raised how much? Did we make
Right
It was
at
like
2,000.
Yeah,
I think
it was like 2,000 something.
I don't
It
remember.
was like $1,800 by the end of the weekend, I believe, and then like over the next couple of weeks or so.
So we have to beat that this year.
We added to it when we did a live stream,
In
a
August.
12-hour live
Yeah.
stream, and
Yeah.
then you actually did a fantasy football draft.
I did a mock draft to help raise money, which raised more money than I thought it was going to. A random Saturday in the year, and then I did a fantasy football league where all that money was also donated to it. So
Nice.
So yeah, there's
Also,
all kinds of different ways.
Have we
you
set
can-
our goal for this year?
I think
I think
have it set at
3,000?
3,000, I think.
Okay. All right. Well, we need to start getting the word out.
And that'd be great
So-
if we can get 3,000 in the 24.
Oh, that would be fabulous. That would be the goal.
And then the rest of the year, any money we raise is
Just
bonus.
bonus.
So
Yeah, absolutely. So if you are listening, please mark your calendars, June 7th, 8 p.m. It would be great if you could stick with us through the whole 24. We will have the live chat up
Yep.
on the end of the table so we can see it and respond to you. I would love to be able to talk to listeners. But, yeah.
and this year I can actually display listener comments on the feed,
Oh,
like
that'd
on the
be
video.
nice.
I've gotten
Even
that.
more
You figured out how to do that? Ooh.
Yeah, different program.
Oh, okay. Well, that
so
works.
that helps. But yeah, if you we'll be live in a lot of different locations. So if you comment and it's nice and appropriate, then I'll display it on the feed. But yeah,
All right.
Awesome.
Well, that sounds fun. Okay. Gosh, I'm looking forward to it. June 7th.
So yes, that's coming up. So thank you, Justin, for hanging out, getting us started, and make sure we're recording correct. And
well, hopefully it still is.
right. So
Right.
anyway, so that is Extra Life. So I finally got around to looking at iTunes. I looked at our reviews on iTunes. I figured out how to get there for one, and I actually looked at our reviews.
Oh, okay.
And there are 5 reviews on there.
Okay.
4 of them, though, is when the Say It Again network started up, and we had like a bunch of different podcasts on here, and we were all going to the different podcasts and giving reviews because that's the way we are found on
Right.
iTunes. The more reviews, the better, and the higher the ranking, the higher you go up the tree.
Super early in the thing. Yeah.
To get us up the tree a little bit so people can find us a little bit
Yeah.
easier because that's the way they do it. But I was looking through it, and we actually had one from September of last year, which is not part of the Say It Again network. Which
No,
we're
by
no
that
longer
point
with.
we'd
already
Guardian
gone from
Studios
the same.
at
Yeah,
that
we were
point.
with Guardian Studios. But this one is a 5-star rating.
Always good.
So you have it on your screen, right?
I do.
So why don't you go ahead?
Okay.
Don't forget who sent it.
All right. This was sent by Falcon Ash, entitled Stay a While and Listen. I discovered this show while I was browsing through my board game podcast selection. The podcast is family friendly, down to earth, and I love the banter. Listening to the places they've gone, games they've played, and what's available on their YouTube channel. Congratulations on 50 episodes. Hope to hear a lot more. Thank you.
Yes,
That was
thank
awesome.
you very much. So
That was a
Falcon
pleasure to
Ash,
read.
If you're still actually listening to us, we applaud you
Hope
and
so.
thank you for being a fan of the show.
Yeah.
And thanks for the kind words.
Absolutely.
So if you want to give us a review, go to iTunes, look us up, give us a review. they don't always have to be 5-star ratings. I mean, tell us what you really think.
5 stars good, but
5-star is what we always want.
I like to hear constructive criticism.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That's
if
the big
you don't
thing.
think we're a 5-star podcast, don't give us a 5-star. Give us what you honestly think. We'll read your review no matter what. So I will keep going back there every 2 weeks, see if there's anything else, and let you know. And we'll read them on the air. So with that, we have compiled a list of games that we apparently need to play.
Oh, okay.
So
This is a video idea that's coming up.
yeah, we're going to do a top 10 list of games that we need to play. These are really hyped games or very popular games that we just haven't gotten
older
to
games
play
we've never
yet.
gotten to.
Yeah.
So
I don't think any of these anything on this list we don't actually have.
no.
And at some point we said we haven't been really interested in playing
for
it.
whatever reason, they just weren't for us. We didn't feel like they were for us.
Everybody says great things about these games. So it was
Right.
like going, well, okay, let's put together a list. I will probably actually put this, once we get a decent list and get ready to record this top 10, I'll probably put it on social media, put it on our Facebook group, put it in our Discord. If you haven't joined our Discord, join our Discord. It's kind of slow right now because we're trying to get it built up.
Right.
But I'll have a room in there that you can let us know what games we need to play. I'll try and put the poll in there. I know you can do a poll there. I just haven't done one yet.
Oh, in Discord? Oh, that I
Yes,
don't know.
I'll probably also put it on a couple of the other Facebook pages for board games that I know of that I'll talk to and see. If you're on MeWe, find me on MeWe, and I'll have it on there. We'll see what we get, and maybe go off of theirs and then what we think and come up with our top 10.
All right.
So let's go through this list that I have right now. So the top one that we both agreed to right out of the gate was Scythe.
Yes.
We hear such great things, but
To be honest, the artwork never appealed to me. It looked very brown. I mean,
it's supposed to be what? Is it a dystopian
a dystopian
era?
world
Yeah.
is from what I understand, which I'm fine with that theme. It
Mhm.
just, for some reason, I don't know. It just looked
Blah.
blah. Yeah.
It looked
So, but
interesting
I've
to me.
heard so many good things about it. I want to try it.
It looked interesting to me, but I thought maybe it was, and I guess it is kind of an area control kind of skirmish game.
See, I know nothing about
But
it.
I have been told that
Nothing.
you can go through the game and not have a skirmish.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we know somebody who has the game, and maybe at one point we'll be able to play it with them or just borrow it from them.
Yeah.
Another one, I think they have it as well. I'm not sure if you got rid of it or not, but that's Blood Rage.
Blood Rage is another one that just does not look at all appealing to me. But again, it's one of
People
those
talk
old.
so
it's
highly
a
about this game.
classic. I feel at this point,
It's a modern day
classic.
classic.
and I feel like we probably ought to try it at least once.
The next one on the list, we definitely know the people who have this. Mark and Jessica has this one.
Which one's that?
This is Destiny's. So,
yes.
yeah, if we get a hold of Mark and Jess, we could probably borrow it from them or go over there and play it with them.
Right.
This is another one that gets high praises from a lot of people. I know Mark and Jess love this one.
Yeah.
The next one, I actually put this one to the list, but that's Tapestry.
Yeah.
This one is deemed as a Civ builder, but it's not a Civ builder. They said the theme is Civ.
This is one that I feel like when it first came out, I was super interested in, and then it got a slew of bad reviews because of the everything not being balanced.
The factions are not balanced.
Right. That at that point I just lost interest.
Yeah, and they came out with an expansion to fix that. And I guess the new printings is what I've heard so far. The new printings, when they come out, are supposed to have that already in the box.
Okay.
So they will
Well, that's
already be
good.
balanced.
So that's one I wouldn't mind trying out. I don't know if I need to buy it yet, but I want to try it.
Yeah, this had humongous hype.
Yeah.
Humongous hype. I guess that's a good term.
Yeah.
But it had a lot of hype when it first came out, and you just seen it everywhere.
Yeah.
The next one, I'm going off of Z Garcia's recommendation off of this one, and that's 51st State.
Yes.
He talks about this so much.
Well, but we like the other one, the games that have come out of it.
Yes, Imperial
So,
Settlers.
Yeah. So I feel like it would be, I mean, it's worth trying. It's just a different setting.
Different setting, yeah.
So yeah, I'm curious on this one.
I guess this one is a little bit meaner than
Oh, well,
Imperial Settlers.
okay. I might not like it then. We'll see.
Right, but we got to try it.
Got to try it.
The next one is any of the gift series.
Yes.
I've heard so much about the Gift series.
Yes.
And these are just little bitty abstract games with little
gorgeous
discs
looking
almost on
disc
all of them,
tokens. Yeah, I've wanted to try these for a long time.
I've seen these so many times, and we've actually at the retreat we've kind of thought about pulling them off the shelf and then decided against it. But they just look like, yeah, okay. It looks like a game from the 70s or something, but they're supposed to be a blast because they're total abstract.
Yes, I'm very curious. They remind me, and again, I don't know any of the rules about any of these, but they remind me of some of the older abstract games. I mean, checkers, for goodness sakes. That's an abstract game, if you think about it. But we have a couple others called, like, Rings is the one that comes to mind right off the bat.
I think it's Devon that has the rings.
The rings, yeah. It reminds me of the game Rings. And I'm curious to play this one to see just how much similarity there is to Rings.
And then one of them looks kind of like Othello.
Yeah. I think so, yeah. I think it has a lot to do with taking over territory when you jump things. Yep. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm curious about these. I always have been.
Then we have, where was that? There we go. Wonderland's War. This is a new one that just came out, and that at Dice Tower West, that was on the hot games table, and it was always full. You had to stand and wait to get into it if you wanted to. But this is another skirmish game, I believe. And we're not huge on
we're not huge on the skirmish games.
And with just 2 players, it probably would not get played very often here. We'd have to want to play it with other people.
Right.
So, but yeah, Wonderland's War, I believe Doug and Mary have gotten this one.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. Doug, Mary, if you're listening, let us know. Because that's another one that's at your house, we think, that we need to play. The next one we'll have to wait till we get to the retreat again because we know it's in the Dice Tower library, and that is Glory to Rome.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to get that one out this year. We've been talking about it for the last 3 years. Still haven't done it.
Yep. But this one gets talked so much that people just wished it would be reprinted and come back out, but I don't think it's going to come back out.
Yeah, at this point, I highly doubt it.
I mean, the artwork on the black box looks so awful.
I don't even know how old that game is, but I feel like it's a product of its time.
Right.
But at the same time, you hear a lot of hype about it, so I don't know.
Let me look, see when that game came out.
A few moments later.
2005. Yeah, the black box looks like it came out in 2005, but yeah, looking at the artwork on it, it's like going, oh my. So after that one, it is Marvel United. Now we know somebody has all the X-Men Marvel United. Yeah. That would be Doug and Mary again. But Marvel United is also at Target for like
$15.
$15. So yeah, so it's very easy to get a hold of, but we just haven't done it. We have so many other Marvel games too.
I feel like that's one of those rabbit holes I don't want to go down.
Yeah, because there's so much.
That's why we avoided Dice Throne until our son bought it and decided we had to try it.
Right.
And now we own all of it.
No, we do not own all.
Okay, no, we own all of the Marvel ones.
No, we're missing one because he has the other expansion.
Oh, that's right. We purposely did not pick up that one. You're right.
Yeah, because they had that one already.
We just picked up all the rest of it.
Yeah, but there's more than just the Marvel.
Well, I know. But still.
Yeah, Marvel United looks interesting. You hear it all the time. Hear everybody talk about how cool it is. So, yep, that's going to be one. Smartphone Inc. This is another one. I mean, you're not too thrilled about it. I've heard a lot of good things about
I've heard a lot of good things about it. I don't know. I will reserve judgment.
Yep. Yeah. Well, like
as with any of these.
That's on any of these games. We've heard so much, but we just have not been truly interested, except for maybe the gift series. Yeah. We haven't been truly interested, but since everybody's been playing them, we're like, maybe we should try it out so we can talk about it and see what the hype is. Right. Is there a real hype? Is it something that's worth talking about? Right. Anyway, so also we have on the list is Downforce.
It's another racing game.
It's another.
I feel like we have a lot of them already.
And we do. We have Detroit Cleveland Grand Prix, which is basically Downforce, except for Downforce has kind of like the camel up betting system in it. Okay. So you're betting on different cars, but you're moving other cars that are yours. Unmatched. This is again, totally
another rabbit hole. I don't want to go down.
Rabbit hole. This is totally confrontational 2-on-2. Yeah. But we know people who have, and there
We
is
do.
actually an adventure. It's like a co-op adventure for Unmatched, where you're playing characters and you're
Oh,
going
we'll
against other
see.
people. That one just released.
Okay. Well, I don't know. We'll see.
Yep. Another one that you actually mentioned to come onto the list was Star Wars Queen's Gambit.
That was during take one.
Yes, that was during Take One. You had us put that on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is another kind of confrontational game too.
Yes.
But it's all about.
But it looks
I think
really
it's
cool.
The first or second
Movie.
episode
Episode
of Star
or
Wars.
movie. Because
Well,
it's kind of
the
wonky
movie,
either way. Yeah.
but, you know, 'cause
Well,
they
no, I
went
mean, by
4,
first.
5, and 6, and then they went back and did 1,
Right.
2, and 3.
So that's what I'm saying. Is it the first movie put out, i.e., A New Hope,
New Hope.
or is it the first
I wanna say-
episode,
it's either-
i.e., Phantom
I
Menace?
think it's either Phantom Menace or what was the next one? Attack of the Clones. I think it might be
Something
Attack
like
of the
that, I
Clones.
don't know.
Was that the second one?
I have no idea.
I don't remember.
I don't
As you
remember.
can tell, we're not huge Star Wars.
Well, I'm a
I mean,
huge
we-
Star Wars fan, but I think my fandom
your
was
fandom is
the original three.
Original three, yes.
And then
Yeah.
after that, I just kind of lost interest. I've seen all of them.
Mhm.
I couldn't tell you anything that happened in
Yeah,
the
the
first
first time
three.
I seen the Phantom Menace, I was not a big fan, but I was always used to seeing Luke and Leia and
Right.
and Hans and all them, and then to see him go backwards and
Yeah.
see Darth Vader's just a little child, it was kind of weird.
It was weird. Well, and
but
it's just
the more I've seen it, the better I've liked it.
yeah. No, I do like them. I'm just still a big fan of the original three.
Mm-hmm. All right, the next one on the list is Mosaic. This is another one that was at the Hot Games table
Yes.
in at Dice Tower West, and that we never had to play. But I think this has an area control in it, which is not a big mechanic that we like.
Right.
After Mosaic, and you can either get a small box of it or you get the big grande box of it that has all the cool stuff on it. And the last one on here was Obsession.
Okay.
This
yeah.
has gotten more as it's been out longer and longer. It's gotten more and more attention.
Yeah. It has had a slow hype building.
Yes.
Which is kind of
So,
interesting.
and
yeah,
I
do
seen
wanna
it
try
out on
this
the
one.
table a bunch of times at the retreat last year. And I was
Yeah.
like, that's the game I think I want to play and try it out. And I've not heard anything bad about the game.
Okay.
So. But that is our list so far. If you guys got anything else you think we need to play that we've never talked about, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or in a review on iTunes. Okay. So we have nothing to go back on
No.
for Kickstarter.
Nope. We have not done anything new with Kickstarter in the last couple weeks.
Other than the Dice Tower.
Other than back in the Dice Tower, yes,
Mhm.
which is just a given every year.
Yep.
We watch way too much of the Dice Tower not to back them.
So let's go on into ins and outs of board game collections. And we actually added a new category into this, and that
We
was the
did.
disappointments. The games that
That's
we
because
thought
there
would
were
be
a
pretty
couple-
good, that were going to be really good, and just failed to be anything
Yeah,
else.
there were a couple that just clearly fell into that category
Mm-hmm.
this time around. So
So on this episode, we're doing 18, 19, and 20. So,
Let me-
Johnny, what's behind door number 18?
all right. On episode 18, we played a total of 20 games. The first one being a blue-orange game called Clear for Takeoff, a.k.a. Lucky Captain, if you're looking for it on BGG. We played The Colonists, Corinth, which Corinth is that's the roll and write. Corrosion, Costa Rica, Cottage Garden, Crack the Case, which is like a little mystery-solving thing. Crew Mission Deep Sea, Crew Quest for Planet 9, Crimes in History, H.H. Holmes Murder Castle, Crocodile Hunter, this is a little kid's game, based on, you can pretty much guess where that's based. Crossways, Crosstrack, Crosswise, CSI Crime Scene, and CSI Miami, the board game. Control, spelled CTRL, an interesting little 3D board. And Cupcake Race, Curious Cargo, and Cyclades. All right, so the one that was staying, no matter what, there was no questions even before we picked it up to play it for this episode, was The Colonists.
Yes.
This is a game we picked up at a yard sale for about half price, but it first came into our
view.
Our view, yeah, I'm trying to think of the right word. We first noticed it when we were working for Mayfair. The one Gen Con, it's been a while. 17, 15, 16, 17,
16,
somewhere in there. I don't
okay.
remember. But that was the year, I guess it'd be easy to find out. That was the year it was put out.
Yep.
But it was a very long civ building type of game. City building, civ building.
2016.
16. Okay. So we were right in the ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
This is all tile laying and area, not area majority, movement. You're moving your people up to 2 times. You can jump from place to place based on the markets. And you're doing the actions on the place you end up. Meanwhile, you're trying to build out your own board. You're garnering resources and trying to save up your resources to do things. But in order to save them, you only start with a very limited amount of storage capacity. And throughout the game, you're increasing your storage capacity. This one, the big deal with this one is it can be up to an 8-hour game.
Yes.
And for this type of game, that seems like it would be a very long game. And it is. Don't get me wrong. It is a long game. But this one can break up into eras, and you can just play 1 era, or you can play 2 eras. So you can customize it for the length of game you want.
Mm-hmm.
The last couple times we've broken this out, we knew it was going to be the only thing we played that day.
Yes.
And we would set it up
Schedule
on a
every day
table.
for
We'd
that.
get going. And then at the end of era 1, we'd get up. I'd go do laundry. He'd go do whatever he was doing, whatever. We'd run our errands. And then we'd come back and play era 2. And then after era 2, we'd do the same thing. Go flip laundry. Go do what we need to do. Come back. So it was kind of instead of doing everything first thing in the morning, we would just set up and play all day and break it up with going to do what we needed to do for, with adulting.
And on the customized
that awful
thing, too,
adulting stuff.
Yeah, on the customized side of it, too, is that if you just want to play Era 4, it shows you how to set up for Era 4.
Yes.
To advance the board, because the board builds
As you go. Yeah,
as you go.
you add in more and more tiles each round.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it'll tell you, okay, you're going to get this, 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 and this, and this. These tiles are going to be out. Place them out like this. And then you're ready to go for Era 4.
Yeah.
So, yeah, when this first came out, I thought it was another Uwe game.
It would certainly look like it, yeah.
Because it has Clement Franz's artwork on it, who did all of it. Did
all of Uwe's games at that
Agricola,
time.
Caverna, all those types of games.
But yeah, that is one of our favorites, one of our bigger, heavier games that we absolutely love. So we knew it wasn't going anywhere. Mm-hmm. All right, the game that left the collection pretty much halfway through the play was CSI Miami.
Yeah. Did we get through this whole game?
If we did, it was a miracle. Okay, so we played 2 different CSI games, and the first one they both left the collection, by the way. The first one wasn't horrible. The worst part was you had to have exact rolls to get anywhere. That was the worst part. The second one, the whole game was purely dice rolls. There wasn't much to the board. I felt like the board was literally a holder for all the other pieces.
Yeah.
But you literally rolled the dice, and that's what your turn was. There was nothing to it. No. So this one left fairly quickly. Yeah, that's all. That's as far as I'm going.
It was awful.
It was just that bad. Yeah. All right. So Crosswise, our surprise of this episode was Crosswise. Crosswise is a abstract strategy game where you've got tiles of all different shapes and colors. So there's 5 of each tile. I'm trying to remember now.
I think so. There's 60 wooden tiles.
60 wooden tiles. So there must be.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4,
okay.
5.
So no, I want to say there's 6 different colors.
Yeah, there's 6 different colors.
So the trick with this one, it is a 2-player game that can be played in teams. So 2 to 4 played in teams. You have one player is controlling all of the horizontal rows, and the other player is controlling all of the vertical rows. The board is like a 6x6 board. So you're trying to make sets, because that's what's going to score you points.
Yes.
Of these colors. And the pieces look a lot like Quirkle pieces, only they're white instead of black.
Yep.
That's so. And then there's some special action tiles in there that let you move extra things or take extra turns, that type of stuff. Yes. So one player's controlling horizontal and trying to get all the sets horizontally that he can. Meanwhile, the other player is trying to get all the sets on the vertical rows. So you're moving things, placing things on the board, and moving things on the board to suit what you need to have happen, but in the meantime, you're screwing up the other person or they're screwing up you. It's just an interesting take on an abstract strategy game.
Yes.
This is the first one we've played of that type of that caliber, and I don't know, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought. I figured it was going to be something similar to Quirkle by looking at it, and it is not. But this one was published, and I think Quirkle even is much older than I thought it was. But
this was 2008.
Yeah, this was published in 2008. So, but yeah, I really enjoy it. I don't think you can find it anymore. I found it at Goodwill. So, if you're ever at one of our events, I will let me know. I'll bring it. You can try it out. All right, and our big disappointment on this one,
which is brought in the category.
Yes, this is the one that brought the category in, is Clear for Takeoff, a.k.a. Lucky Captain. This is a blue-orange game, and I typically love blue-orange games.
Yes, you do.
I love the components. I love how simple they are. I love how clear the rules are typically. And I say that only because I just finished editing a video where we had the exact same problems with another blue-orange game, and we ended up getting rid of it too. So, which is disappointing. Oh, that's a much, much older game. That one was a 20-year-old.
What was that one?
That was Mask.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Clear for Takeoff, a.k.a. Lucky Captain. This one, each player is playing a set of colored airplanes. You have 3 airplanes. It's all card play. The board is made up of a series of cards that are made to represent the runway. And each plane is trying to get down the runway using card play and to take off. The problem is that in order to get from runway A to runway B, you have to have a set of A's. To get to B, from B to C, you have to have a set of C's. So you're collecting cards for each one of your airplanes, trying to get them off the ground. The kicker is that the other player, when you get to D and you get your set of D's, which is hard to get, they could throw a fog card at you. And now you may not be able to take off. Mm-hmm. It's just...
Yep, you got to abort. And
yeah.
I think it's either you got to go back to your hangar or you move back a tile.
You move back a tile, and then now you've got to collect those D's all over again.
Yes.
It just wasn't fun.
It was not fun, yeah.
Yeah, I was very disappointed in how it played.
Component-wise and everything was great.
Yeah.
Gameplay,
it only has
great.
A 5.4 on BGG, so I'm not surprised. I was not thrilled with it. All right, so that is it for episode 18.
On to episode 19.
All right, episode 19. We played 18 games, looks like.
This was the start of the D's.
Yes, the last one was the end of the C's. We're now at the start of the D's. All right, so we played Dad Joke Face Off. Yes, that is exactly what it sounds like. Dangerous Book for Boys, Dangerous Book for Boys card game, Dante's Inferno, Dark Minions, Da Vinci Code, Da Vinci Challenge, Dead Panic. This is part of the Castle Panic line.
Yep.
Deck Builder, the deck building game. There's a story behind that one. Deep Sea Adventure, Deer in the Headlights, Destination Neptune, Detour, Detroit Cleveland Grand Prix, Diamonds, Diary of a Wimpy Kid Cheese Touch, and Diary of a Wimpy Kid Don't Scramble the Eggs. And then finally, Dice Capades. All right. Our in on this one. Let me flip screens here. All right.
I put this one in so you could talk about it, because you don't get to talk about this game that often because it's a pretty obscure game.
It is a very obscure game. All right. So back in the day when we first discovered board games, Twilight Creations Inc. had at the last day of Gen Con had a huge sale on all their games. They were giving everything away for $5. And we didn't know, so we just bought all of them. This is the only one that has survived and is still in our collection. We don't even have any of them in the other collection anymore, I don't think. I think we've literally gotten rid of every one of them. But this is Dante's
we got
Inferno.
Rid of Easter Island as well?
Is that a Twilight creation?
Yes.
Oh, that one might still be over there. I was thinking of all the vampire and monster games.
Crazy.
Yeah. But anyway, Dante's Inferno. This is poor components. I mean, yeah, it's got your standard, what I would expect to be mass market standees in it. Not very, very fancy by any stretch. Cardboard tiles, and then components that what it came with was it came with a marker made out of what looked like scrap cardboard that went onto your player board to mark how many of each resource you had. And there are 4 different color resources, your basic 4 colors, red, blue, green, and yellow. And we played it that way once. Yeah. And then we got rid of that whole tracker and the whole work. I think they might still be in the box.
It was trash. Like I said, it looked like scrap cardboard. And they were about the size of the used markers in Dinosaur World.
Yes, they were
about
teeny.
That size.
But thin.
It was just extra cardboard they just cut up.
Exactly. So I ended up buying some nice tokens, enough for everybody to have 10 of each that you could track with. So it's fine. But the way this one plays is you have a large outer square board, and it plays up to 6 players too, 3 to 6. So it doesn't come off the table as often as I would like. But so you have a large outer board, and you are one by one filling in the board all the way down to Dante's Inferno, down to the center. And this is loosely based on the book. But the staircases are in place. Those go into place right away. But you can't go down the stairs until something has been built on either side of it to hold them up.
Yes.
So the idea is that you are moving around inside of the 7 layers of hell, trying to garner the resources you need to defeat creatures and ultimately defeat Dante at the bottom. So it's all roll of the dice. This is very much, it's got like a little Catan feel here, where depending on where your people are, you can have so many of them on the board at a time. Depending on the spaces they're standing on, the die roll depicts what color resources you get. And those resources will allow you to bring more people in, to fight monsters, to do whatever. And there are cards that give you the breakdown of what resources you need to do each action. So again, very much like the building in Catan. Now that I'm thinking about it, I never really put that together, but I think I probably did last time we played it. But
you never put that together?
No, I did. But as I'm explaining it, it's coming back to me, because we haven't played this one since we played it for the video. So I don't know. Just one of those I've always loved. You're
lukewarm on it.
You're lukewarm on it, but I enjoy playing this for some reason. I enjoy it more than I do Catan.
So I was flipping through the pictures on this game.
Yeah.
And they show all those little tiles we were talking about that look like just scrap cardboard.
Yeah.
It puts together a picture of Dante.
Does it really?
Yes. Here, let me see if
I
can
would
get
have
this to
never
turn around so you can see it.
Guessed that. Oh my gosh.
It's like I never really. Yeah.
I don't know if I even still have those pieces. I'd have to look in the box.
We just thought it was just scrap.
It looks like scrap cardboard. Okay, well.
But I don't think anything in the rules even told you that they did that. So.
No, it doesn't. I don't think so.
That came up. I was like, wait, what?
Now I'm looking for it. But anyway, so there it is. Yeah. Wow. Anyway, I super enjoy this game. Like I said, I always have. But yeah, that is the one that stayed, Dante's Inferno. The one that was out, the one that, again, halfway through the game, we were like, why are we playing this still? Was Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Cheese Touch. This was a weird trivia game where it wasn't even trivia. It was more like, who do you think would do this? Who do you think would be most likely to do that out of the people playing the game?
Yes.
And if you were right, great. If you were wrong, you got the cheese. And you can't win if you had the cheese. It was just a weird game. We played this with our son and his fiance, both of whom confirmed, this has nothing to do with the IP. Nothing. Okay, so it left the collection very quickly. All right, so our surprise of this one was Deep Sea Adventures. Deep Sea Adventures is one we picked up at a Goodwill.
In Florida.
Down in Florida. At the end of one of our Dice Tower events. I don't remember which year it was, but we found it at Goodwill. It's an Oink game. It's a little bitty box Oink game.
It was our first Oink game.
Yes, it was. That may be our only one still, I think.
Yes, I think it is.
The idea is that you've got a submarine in the middle of the table, just a little bitty thing with 25 units of oxygen on it. And everybody is sharing the same oxygen. That's the trick to this one. You've got a series of treasures that are coming out of the bottom of the sub. going down into the depths, and the color changes and their values change based on how far down they are. You get to roll a dice that tells you your movement, and you take your full movement until you pick up that first treasure. And the minute you pick up that first treasure, no matter how far down you are, you now lose one dice. You lose 1 pip on your dice roll as you try to get back up or further down. So you can carry as much treasure as you want. Just remember that every treasure you're carrying, trying to get back up, and treasure is how you win the game. That's your points at the end of the game. So you want the treasure, but every one you carry reduces the pips on your dice roll. So if you roll a 5 and you're carrying 3 pieces of treasure, you're only moving twice this round because you're bogged down with treasure. And every time you do, you're using oxygen. So the minute you pick up a piece of treasure, you start using oxygen as well. I can't win this game. I don't know. I like push your luck, and I think I push it a little too far in this game every single time.
Well, every level you go, or every round, because when you take a tile, you put an X there on that round, and then if I'm not mistaken, at the end of the round, the X's come off and everything moves up.
Right.
Even,
and anybody
even the stuff that you dropped all the way to the bottom.
Yes, everybody. If you don't get out, you don't die. You just have to drop everything and rush to the sub, because you start back up at the top of the sub on the next round. But everything that you were carrying floats all the way to the bottom and now starts at the very bottom of the track.
Yep.
Which does push all of the more expensive stuff up, so that's nice.
And your part was you'd always go deep.
I would
try and get the higher numbers, and I would go about
mid
to upper and take stuff and go back.
Yeah.
And you'd grab a bunch of stuff and try and come up, and you'd run out of oxygen and always go down.
Because my dice always hated me.
To get the deep stuff, I just waited until all those tiles were disappearing, and it would just pull it up farther, so there was less you had to go down to come back up with.
Yeah,
so.
Well, anyway, this one was a surprise. I did not expect to enjoy it as much as we did. The fact we only paid $2 for it certainly helps, but yeah. All right, so this episode did not have much of a disappointment. There was no game that we thought, "Ooh, this is going to be great," and it wasn't. So yeah, I don't see anything on here that we really. I mean, I wish Dad Joke Face Off had been better.
I thought it was hilarious.
I'm sure you did.
I won it too.
Yes, you did, because you could keep a straight face, and I could not.
Neither could Journey.
Right. That was episode 19. All right, so episode 20, we played 17 games. We played Dice City, Dice Forge, Dice Hospital, Dice Settlers, Dice Safari. Has anybody seen the theme here? Dick Tracy Game, Dinner in Paris, Dinogenics, Dinosaur Island, Dinosaur World, Dulosaur Island, again, more theme. Discover, Lands Unknown, Dish It Up, Disney Princess Wishes, Disney Sidekicks, Disney The Wonderful World of Music, say that 5 times fast, and Disney Trivia 2, the sequel.
So we had 3 different themes in that one.
We did, yes.
So the one that we kept is the ultimate dinosaur game.
Yeah.
And that is Dinogenics, not Dinosaur World or Dinosaur Island or anything. Although Dinosaur World is up there, but Dinogenics, I think, is still the most best.
The most
the most bestest one there is. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's the best, in my opinion. Dinogenics is the best dinosaur game out there. It's the best one that I've played so far.
Okay. And Dinogenics has a neat story behind it, too. We got to play it for the first time at the Dice Tower Retreat
we went to.
And halfway through playing it, you've decided you absolutely love this game. You need to find a copy. Of course, it's out of print. There was only the one print run of it, the Kickstarter print run. That was pretty much it. The gentleman we were playing with is like, "Oh, good luck trying to find one, ... Well, by the end of the game, you had not only found one on BGG Marketplace, you had found one that was right here in our home city, and the gentleman was willing to hold on to it till we got back so we didn't have to pay for shipping. We would just literally meet him at his place of business and pick it up."
Yep. Yeah, and I think actually there was 2 Kickstarters, because there was one for the expansion where you could get the game with it.
Okay. Well, we missed both.
But we missed both of them. It was before we discovered Kickstarter, I guess.
Yeah, probably.
Because this says it came out in 2019. So it was after we found Kickstarter.
Yeah.
I don't know how we missed it.
I don't know. Anyway. All right. So the one that was out that left the collection. And this actually, at the time we recorded the video, it did stay.
Mm-hmm.
This was at the time was our only dice crafting game. This is Dice Forge. However, since then, and even when we decided to keep it, I never really liked this game. It was just very okay to me.
Mm-hmm.
You roll the dice, you gain the resources on your board, and you're spending those resources to buy cards. That is essentially it. There was no qualms about where you moved. If you moved someplace where somebody else was at, they got kicked off and sent back to the center wheel. It didn't hurt anything.
Right.
So it just was never super exciting to me. It was just collect all the cards as fast as you can. Collect the big cards because those are the ones that are going to get you the most points. That was pretty much it. However, we got Dice Realms earlier late last year. And Dice Realms is to me a better, and to you, a better dice crafting game. So we went ahead and decided to let Dice Forge go.
Yes.
Now we are going to go ahead and sell it. We did not move it into the other collection because of the pieces. And as it was, we had lost a piece. I had to go onto eBay to replace one of the dice faces because we had lost a piece.
Yeah.
I didn't want to take this to an event and be doing that continuously.
Right, and we don't want to sell a game if it doesn't have
Exactly.
all the pieces.
So I had to go on, especially one of the starter dice faces. It isn't even one you can just avoid using. You kind of got to have the starter ones. So luckily we only ever played 2 players, so it was easy not to use that one. But So yeah, this one left the collection. Even though in the video, if you watch 20, we did decide to keep it because at the time it was the only one we had like it.
Yep.
So, all right, surprise. Our surprise game of this episode was Dinner in Paris.
Yep.
Again, another one we picked up on a road trip.
We picked it up because that was back when we didn't want to leave a game store
without buying something
because we always wanted to support the local game stores and everything. So, and this is the only one that we thought looked somewhat interesting.
Yes, and it was.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting much out of this game.
I wasn't either.
I was like, yeah, let's play this and we'll see how it goes.
I mean, the bulk of the board is cardboard chits, just spread out in the middle of the board.
Yep.
But the catch on this one, or the gimmick on this one, is you've got these beautiful little plastic restaurant pieces, and they're 3D pieces that you sit all around the edges of the board. And then the little cardboard chits that are all over the center of the board are your sidewalks. And those patios, those are essentially how you're scoring your points.
Yes.
Because you're trying to go off of, you're scoring points off of your restaurants too, but you're using ingredient cards that you are drawing from the stack in order to build your restaurants. And then once your restaurants are built, you're trying for majority in front of your restaurants in order to meet goals. So some of the goals may say have, rest or patio tiles all the way around all of the flower beds or touching all of the flower beds. And there are flower beds printed on the board. So you have to strategically align all of your restaurants so that you can get your patios to those flower beds. So I don't know. It was a lot more strategic than I thought it would be.
Yes.
We actually did a playthrough video of this one that is up on the channel.
I was going to say, I don't remember. Did we do a playthrough video of it or did not?
We did.
Yes.
I do remember doing this one. So it is out there if you're interested in checking that out. All right. Our disappointment.
Yeah.
This was an Ollie find. Again,
one I had high hopes for.
I did too. This was an exploration type of game.
Cooperative.
Cooperative. Yeah, it was cooperative exploration. Interesting theme. This was Discover Lands Unknown. The gimmick with this one was that no 2 boxes were the same. That if you had everything, and good luck finding all of it because they don't tell you what's in each box on the box, but each box had 2 of the 6 lands that were possible to collect. Each box had and I'm making these numbers up because I don't have the box in front of me anymore, but each box had, I want to say, 12 of the possible 36 adventurers. It had different tokens for the monsters, different sets of supplies. Every box was different in some fashion. So therefore, each rule book was based on the lands that you got. That's it. So you had a main rule book that described the basic gameplay, and then you had separate land books for each of your module, your land masses. We played through this one 2 or 3 times, I want to say. And the first play was okay. But by the third play, I was like, yeah, I'm kind of done. I didn't even want to explore it any further. Originally, we thought, oh, this would be cool to get all the 6 lands and play through all the adventures. And nope.
Yeah, it didn't do anything I wanted it to do.
Yeah. I didn't do anything new to me.
No.
But anyway, that was episode 20.
And our ins and outs of board game collection. So our mailbag's empty today. We don't have any questions. Nobody wanted to ask us a question.
Okay.
But if you're interested in asking us questions, you can always email us at meeplesociety@mail.com, or you can join our Discord server.
We have a Discord server?
Yes, we have a Discord server. You can join the Discord server, and we have a channel for that, so you can go in there and ask away there. The Discord server is kind of slow because we're just getting it going and trying to get people to come and start talking on it. But yes, so email us at meeplesociety@mail.com or join our Discord server and ask us questions. So we're going to go and just jump right down to our deep dive. Today we are deep diving the new Fox Experiment from Elizabeth Hargrave.
We are. All right, this one was a Christmas present from Mark and Jess. Thank you both very much.
Yes, very grateful.
We benefited from their mistake because
we did.
they
Again.
each liked it so much. They both liked the Kickstarter idea so much, they both fully backed it. So, yes. Anyway. And, of course, by the time they discovered it, it was too late to change their minds or to cancel one of them.
Yep.
So we benefited from their mistake. All right. So the Fox Experiment was published in 2023, designed by Jeff Frazier and Elizabeth Hargrave, art by Joe Shawcross, published by Pandasaurus Games here in the States. This runs for roughly 60 minutes. Our experience has been more like 90, but
we've been teaching.
But we've been teaching every game.
It.
That's true. Plays 1 to 4 players. Although we do have the 5/6 upgrade, we have not used. We've not played with that many people though, and it says ages 10 and up. I could see it. Once a 10-year-old has figured out the mechanics, I think they're going to be okay with it.
Yeah, it's a fairly easy game.
Yeah, it's not a hard game at all. Although the weight is 2.42 out of 5, so it's about mid-weight. Okay, so the Fox Experiment is based on a true experiment. I'm going to read the brief description that's in BGG, at least this first line of it here. In 1958, Dmitry Belyaev and Ludmila Trut, started an experiment on domestication. From a large group of foxes, they selected the one that reacted to humans with more curiosity and less aggression. In each generation, they selected only the friendliest pups to become parents, hoping to recreate the process that originally led to the domestication thousands of years ago. I'm assuming they mean the domestication of dogs.
Correct.
The experiment made stunning progress. Even though the foxes were chosen only for their friendliness, they soon started to get many of the physical traits that we associate with domesticated animals, like spots, floppy ears, and curly tails. As communication opened up, the foxes made major contributions to our understanding of how these traits are expressed. The experiment continues to this day. In this game, you are essentially in 5 rounds. This game is set up over a 5-round period. You are trying to create the friendliest pup of each generation, of each round. The game is going to start with, each round, let's start there. Each round starts with, everybody makes one of 3 choices, and you do 3 turns of everybody making one of these choices. And by the end of it, you're going to have a male pup, a female pup, and you're going to have something off of the supply track, which is going to determine play order the next round.
Yes. So
not everybody has to select their male pup at first. You know, the first 2 people may select the male pups they see, and then the other male pups are all, average. So I'm going to go down and grab this female pup that nobody else has grabbed yet. Or the fourth player may decide, you know what? I don't see any of the dogs up there that are going to make a difference to me right now. I want first turn next round. So I'm going to grab turn order and grab the bonuses I want right now. So over the first 3 turns, everybody's going to end up with those 3 things in whatever order they decide to choose them. At the end of this phase, there are multiple times where you can unlock upgrades. Now, your player board has a series of upgrades on it, and you are using trait tokens to unlock those upgrades throughout the game. At the end of the selection phase, you have your first opportunity each round to unlock upgrades. Because at that point, you're going to start rolling. Each of the fox parents have a series of dice on them that dictate some of their strongest traits. Each of the dice have different, each of the dice mean different things. Each color means something different. For example, the brown dice indicate floppy ears, and the pink or red dice, they're red dice, but all the tokens look pink. But anyway, they indicate spots. The blue is their bark, and purple is fluffy tails. And then the green dice is what's called the friendly dice.
Yes.
Everybody gets a friendly dice to start. You just automatically have one. One of the upgrades you can do on your player board allows you to get up to 3 more if you unlock those upgrades. And I'll explain how you unlock in a moment. One of the other upgrades you can unlock is the number of your litter that you're going to be rolling each round. You start off with rolling a 1 litter pup, and then you can unlock up to 2 more pups per litter if you choose. You can also unlock getting study cards. So you start the game with 1 study card. You can unlock up to, I think, 3 more. I don't have a picture of the player board here in front of me.
In the study cards, you can unlock a total of 3 plus the one you start with.
So you can basically end up by the end of the game with a total of 4 study cards. So you can unlock 3 more.
And if you unlock the 4th one, you're going to get some points.
Right. Yeah, the last row on all of the columns, or the last column on each of the rows, is just straight up points.
Except
if you unlock
for
them. Except for the cards, the patron cards. So end of game scoring cards are called patron cards. They sit on the board. They are randomized each game. So you have, I want to say it comes with 5 or 6. There might be more than that. But you only use 4 per game. So you're going to get a different selection each round, or each game, I should say. But you can unlock the bonuses that allow you to select up to 3 of the 4 that are out. So you'll never have access to all of the scoring bonuses, just to a maximum of 3 of them. With those scoring bonuses comes immediate bonuses too, or endgame scoring come immediate bonuses. So you've got supply tokens that are out on the board that allow you to, when you select a patron, you get those bonuses as well.
Yeah.
You also get science cards. Science cards give you ways to one time break the rules. It might allow you to re-roll some of your dice just once where normally you cannot. It might allow you to score on the study card. 1 pup can score 2 different study cards instead of just 1. The study cards are their goals. There's 3 ways to score on them. You can, if you score the lower study part of it, it's 2 points, and you have to progressively work your way up. You can't just automatically jump to that 10.
No.
But there's 3 sets of scores on there, and you work your way up to the 10. You only score the highest number you get to, the highest study you get to.
Right.
But each one wants progressively more and more of a specific trait on one of the dogs. Or, I'm sorry, on one of the foxes. So when you've got your parents, you've picked your turn order for next round, you draw out the number of pups that you have in your litter, whether it be 1, 2, or 3, and you gather up all your dice. So my dad pup says I can have 2 pinks and a brown, and my mom dice says I get 2 blues and a brown. So I'm gathering up all those dice. I'm gathering up the friendly dice I've unlocked, whether it's the one I start with or any more, and I'm rolling everything. Mm-hmm. Every die has a various combination of icons on them. It could be a full icon, so you get 1 trait. It could be a half of an icon. You can combine that half icon with a friendly die, which is a wild trait, or you can combine it with a half icon that shows up on another dice of that color to make a full trait. So you're putting all your dice together, trying to work out the best number of traits that you're looking for in your pup. And then you're marking them down on the dry erase cards that are provided with the game. So the game comes, all of the pup cards are dry erase, which is nice. All male and female. You shuffle them up at the beginning, put them face down. You don't get to choose what you're having because that's not the way nature works. So you're drawing, it's all luck of the draw. So you've marked all the traits down that you rolled on your new pups, and then you name your pup. You decide on its friendly score, and the friendly score is based on the number of traits that you rolled. So if you rolled, 2 brown and 2 blue and 1 pink, then you have a friendly score of 5. So you just add up all your rolls. The very first trait of each one of the first and third traits of each one that you rolled indicate the number of dice that dog or that fox will get to roll when he becomes a parent. The second, fourth, and fifth trait of each kind that you roll become one-time bonuses or become trait tokens for you, the person who rolled the pup up. So you get to collect all those trait tokens, and those trait tokens are what are used to unlock the bonuses on your player board. So at first it starts out with just 2. You have to have one set of 2 to unlock a bonus. By the end of the game, though, it's costing you 3 to 4 depending on the trait. I'm sorry, it's costing you between 4 and 5 of similar trait tokens to unlock those extra bonus points. So it progressively gets harder to unlock the bonus, as it should. As any game should. It should progressively get harder. So after you've named your pup, you've given it the friendly score, whoever made the friendliest gets to put their marker, and the game comes with 10 little foxes or 10 or 12 foxes of your color. You get to put one of your foxes onto the round tracker. That is the friendly score, and you get extra bonus points at the end of the round, or end of the game, I'm sorry. And then you rearrange the turn order tokens based on where people chose in the previous round, and you start over again. All of the pups you just rolled go up into the display, and now everybody else can choose whether they want your pup, the pup they just rolled, or if they're going to take one of the extra generic ones that have come out because there weren't enough. You always fill in the display with one more than the number of players. So nobody is stuck with a pup they don't want. You get to you always have a choice of at least 2. So by the end of the game, if everybody is rolling 3 pups in their litter, you're going to have more than just 5 to choose from.
Yep.
But the goal is that some of these pups may be rolling 8 dice by then, if you can roll right. So yeah. That is essentially how you play. It is played in 5 rounds. At the end of 5 rounds, you score up all of your points off of your player board, off of the off of the round tracker, the friendly tracker, off of the patrons. I think that's pretty much it. Oh, and then you get you could potentially earn extra bonus points if you roll up a 6th or 7th trait on a dog. Those extra traits, instead of getting bonus tokens, you get icons. You get little star tokens that are just straight up victory points.
You said science cards?
Science cards, no, I did not say, but yes, science cards give you, any unused science cards give you 1 victory point at the end of the game for not using
science
them.
Cards, as soon as you use them,
you discard them, yes. So, but yeah, that is essentially how you play the Fox Experiment. All right, so let's talk about it.
I would say go into gameplay, but you kind of covered the gameplay, but we could talk about our gameplays of it. We have played this at the Dice. We played the prototype at the Dice Tower.
Yes.
With me, you, Jeff, and Wendy Yee, and I think Chris.
Yes, Chris taught it, and then I think he either went on to do something else or he went to bed, and Wendy stayed up with us.
It was late at night, and I think that was why I didn't really enjoy the first game of this.
I did, but you didn't, so we never backed it.
Well, my brain shuts down, I guess, before yours does. Mine, I was there to play the game. I thought, okay, we're still playing a game.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll play this game.
No.
And my memory of it was not the greatest. I was like, that's why I was not interested in backing the Kickstarter.
Right.
Because I was like, is it going to come off? It's not that great of a game. I don't understand why people are just praising this game.
Because
I didn't
you
really
are
enjoy
wrong.
The game. And then, of course, Mark and Jess made that unfortunate error. And we reaped the benefits of their error, which we've done before in the past.
Yep.
And thank you, Mark and Jess, for making those errors that we reaped the benefits for. We owe you a lot.
Yes.
But we got this game played. We got the upgraded parts with it and everything because, like I said, we played the prototype originally, and we sat down. We played it then.
And the prototype wasn't bad. It was just cardboard chits and wood meeples instead of the acrylic. That's
we
all.
have the upgraded. Are they resin or are they just plastic?
The Fox meeples, I'm going to guess some sort of a molded plastic, but they could be resin. I'm not 100% sure.
They're screen printed with the
Which,
different
honestly,
foxes on it.
I think the wood ones are fine. I liked the wood ones.
No, that was fine.
So, unfortunately, the game didn't come with the wood ones. I imagine it's
but the game's always better when you have upgraded components.
Well, yes, of course.
Because the tiles themselves were
The
upgraded.
tiles are all upgraded to the nice, heavy plastic pieces.
The only thing that was not, and you almost threw them away,
I almost did.
was the
Supply tokens.
Supply tokens, because
Yes.
they need to stack on top of each other on the board.
And the plastic coating
And
would
they
not
would
allow
just
that to
been all over the place.
happen.
You would have
Yeah.
had to draw them out of the bag.
Yeah.
You would have had to
Which
add
would have
a
been
bag to them.
fine, but
And we
Yeah.
didn't notice that because we were getting ready to set it up. It's like, well, where are these tokens at? I don't have any tokens in here.
luckily, thank goodness, I had not even punched the cardboard because I knew we had all the upgraded pieces. And I literally took all of the cardboard and stuffed it into the 5-6 player box and just set it aside and had not done anything with it yet. So it was easy to pull out.
Yeah. But yeah, so we played it. We played it again for the second time, but the first time in a few years.
Right.
Because when we played the prototype, it was before the Kickstarter.
Before the
even
Kickstarter
launched.
even launched, yes.
But and I was like, going, wait, there's something to this game here.
Yeah.
A little bit better than what I can remember.
Because we played it just ourselves, didn't we?
Yes, we
and
played
then
it by ourselves.
we've
Then we played it with Joe and Tony,
Yes.
his brother and his wife.
Yep.
And I enjoyed it a little bit more. That's like
Then we
and
taught
then
it to
we
Doug
took
and
it over
Mary.
to Co-op on Nerds and played Doug and Mary's copy because they actually had the same type of copy.
Yep.
And we played there. I was like, okay, so I understand the hype now. This is a very enjoyable game.
It is an enjoyable game, yes. I love the dice chucking. You may only start, even at the start, you're probably going to have 5 to 6 dice to roll.
Yes.
But boy, by the end, you could be rolling 15 dice.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing the game is missing is some dice trays.
Yes, yeah, because when you get to there, you definitely need the dice trays.
I feel like I have to pull out the dice trays by the time you get about halfway through the game, because otherwise dice are going across the table.
Yeah. But the more plays I've played of this now, the more I've enjoyed it. It would be
Yes.
interesting to see what a 5 or 6 player game does.
I would be curious because for the most part, most of the game is simultaneous play.
Maybe
Everybody's rolling at
yeah.
the same
maybe
time.
we try and get a 5 or 6 player at the 24-hour.
Oh, that would be
marathon.
interesting if we can fit everybody around this table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good one.
Yeah. So component-wise, like I said, we had the deluxe components.
Yes. I think the cardboard was fine,
Mm-hmm.
but the deluxe definitely adds a little
A little
flair to it.
Mm-hmm.
I think for the foxes, honestly, I prefer the wood, but that's just me. The plastic pieces or the resin pieces, whatever they are gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
They just have a different feel to them
Yeah,
for me.
I think the wood ones stood a little bit
They
better
did.
if you wanted to stand them up instead of laying them down.
Yeah, they did. I don't know. I've always liked wood meeples personally.
Mm-hmm.
I just like the feel of them in my hands. I love that tactile feel of them. But the resin, the bonus token, the trait tokens, and the heavy metal gear token you use for player turn
Yes,
order.
I liked that. That was really
that
nice.
is gorgeous. It's got a beautiful weight to it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, all of the components are great. We ended up with the neoprene boards
Yes.
instead
which is
of
great.
the game board. And I managed to fit the neoprene player mats into the box. The board, of course, is too big.
It's still in its
So
box
it's
to
in
begin
its
with.
box it came in. But the game board is still in the box. So if we ever walk off and forget the mats, at least we have a game board.
Yeah.
So, but no, I think the card quality is fine.
Yeah, the pup cards are
A really
a lot
nice,
better. I think
yeah.
they're even better than what the prototype was.
I think so.
I mean,
I think so.
but yeah, I was hoping, I was like, okay, you're going to be writing on the cards.
Yeah.
How well are they going to come off? And these,
They come off just
right
fine.
off just fine. Yeah.
I wouldn't. Now, after a while, I imagine that could have been part of the problem with the prototypes. A lot of people had played it,
Mm-hmm.
and after a while, they tend to collect a residue.
Mm-hmm.
It's just part of dry erase. So yeah, every once in a while, after a dozen plays, we might have to just take a damp cloth to the cards and wipe them down carefully, just to get that residue off. Well,
Can
yes,
always get into the edges.
yes, no, you're gonna have to be super careful with it.
Then you're done.
But I definitely would not run them underwater or anything silly like that
No.
for sure. But yeah, overall I think they're great. Like I said, I know eventually the dry erase we're gonna have to clean the cards in some fashion, but I think that's gonna be easy with just a damp paper towel.
Something we haven't talked about yet: the artwork.
Oh, I love the artwork.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The artwork is really cool.
The foxes are adorable. The board is the board looks like an old village, but it's not so busy that it's overwhelming. It's very subtle, and I like that. You can still see exactly where everything is. Everything makes sense. I don't know. I love the artwork on this.
So Joe Shawcross, who is the artist on this game, he did Dinosaur World.
Really?
He did the artwork on Dinosaur World, and he's doing the artwork for Foundations of Metropolis, which is due out this year.
I had never even heard his name before.
But yeah,
he's interesting.
He did all of Dinosaur World, and like I said, Foundations of Metropolis, if you haven't heard, is the retail version now that's going to be of Foundations of Rome, but it's all just going to be the little
cardboard chip
polyomino tiles now. You won't have the big buildings like in Foundations of Rome, but this is their way of getting it out to the public.
Getting the base gameplay out,
price. Yeah. But yeah, this is the same artist who did all those. And I was like going, oh, okay. The artwork in Dinosaur World is really cool.
Yeah, I like it.
I do really like the artwork in this. The cards aren't all different. You got like 4 or 5 different foxes on each.
Right. They're not individual. Yes.
Let's do our final thoughts. What is your final thought in rank for this one?
All right. So my final thought, I do enjoy a lot of the pieces of this. I enjoy chucking those dice. I enjoy trying to make the puzzle work to get as much out of those friendly tokens and the friendly dice as I can, because they're all wilds. And that was one thing I didn't mention, is you can also get friendly tokens, which represents a single use wild token, basically.
It's a half a token.
It's a half a token.
Or half.
Yeah. Yes, it's basically a wild half of a icon, half of a trait icon. So I enjoy the puzzle of, I want to get this particular study card accomplished, and I need 3 pinks for it, and I only have 1. How can I make my wilds work out that I can get this done? Because I don't want to go around without getting this, or it's not gonna happen. So I enjoy that puzzle. I enjoy chucking the dice. Dry erase is what it is. It's definitely a better alternative than having pads and pads and pads of paper, which is what you would have to do to compensate for not having the dry erase boards. Eventually, those dry erase boards are going to get gunky, though. They just do. But I enjoy it. I'm going to give this a 4 out of our 1 to 5 rating. I can see after a while it might get a little samey if we don't get some new patron cards or maybe some new bonuses that might come into play. I don't know. I don't design games. I don't know what they could add to it. But I'm sure that somebody who does has all sorts of ideas already. So, but yeah, I'm going to go with a 4. I enjoy it a lot. I don't think it is something that I'm going to play continuously for a long period of time. But then again, what game is?
Right.
So, but yeah, no, I really enjoy this one. I'm going to give it a 4.
Okay. So we do a ranking of 1 to 5. So just so if you haven't heard, our 1 is you don't bother. We took the hit for you so you don't have to. Midway 3 is a good game, but play it before you buy it because it may not be for you. And 5, buy it. We recommend it. Just listen to what we said. And go out and get it. You don't even need to play it first. So on mine, my initial thoughts was a 3. And actually, my original thought when I first played the game was probably more like a 1 or a 2 because I didn't enjoy it, but I didn't like I said, my brain
It was
don't-
late. You didn't grasp
my
the nuances.
Yeah, my brain is not a functional brain for heavy gameplay after
Right.
11 o'clock. And it was after 11 o'clock when we first played this. But the more plays I've played, like I said, after we've played it a few times, it was a 3. I may be leaning towards a really high 3, almost a 4, but I think it needs an expansion.
It will eventually need
'Cause
one for sure.
by the
yeah.
4th play of this, it was kind of like, okay, we've seen just about everything we can see now,
Mhm.
so it's kind of the same. It's like your strategy's not going to change. You've got one way is a winning way, or it's not a winning way. We're going to play like this, and normally we can win this game. I think with more of the more patrons out would probably be good. Maybe
Okay.
some more foxes.
Even some more study cards, although the study
Yeah.
cards are pretty wide
The study-
variety.
Yeah, it's right. I don't think you need to add that. I think you can add the science cards, patron
Yeah,
cards,
some science cards would be good.
and maybe some more
Patrons.
adults. I said
Oh,
patron cards.
you did say, okay. So, the
But more
adult
adults,
cards.
maybe.
Gotcha. You never
yeah.
go through the whole stack, but
No, you don't. But like I said, 4 or 5 plays in, you pretty much have seen everything it has to offer. So that's why I said it needs an expansion for me to go fully into a 4.
okay.
So I'll say a 3, but a very high 3,
Okay.
almost a 4. Expansion comes out, great. Well, we'll get it and play it with that and see if my rating goes up.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, you are at a 4, and I'm at a high 3. So we're
We're going to call it a 4.
about right there. So it's kind of a recommendation, but you might want to play it. So that'll bring us to the end of episode 51. We'd like to remind you we have more top 100 videos, 80 to 71, 70 through 61, and 60 through 51. And 50 to 41 will drop on Sunday. And the return of Playing Through Our Collections, episode 45, the holiday backups, because we got games around the holidays that were letters that we've already passed. And as well, episode 46, part 1 of the M's has dropped to the channel. We are halfway through this 10-year mission.
It is not 10 years.
It feels like
It's
it.
2 so far.
Okay. Our 10-year mission. What else is coming to the channel? More top 100s. 40 to 31 is being edited currently, correct?
Yes.
And once we get done here, we are going to go record 30 to 21 today. So after we finish
Almost
the
done.
podcast. So be on the lookout for those videos. Also, if you want to follow us on social media, just follow the links in the show notes. And I promise, this has been 2 podcasts in a row, I say I promise, that I will put the link in there. And I failed to do it. So I've got a note to put the link in so everybody can follow us, to find us on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, YouTube, Threads, Discord, and our merch shop. Or you can contact us directly at the Newsbody at mail.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you at the next one.